Hey everybody. um, we're back again. The good news is my neighbor said that their internet's out too, so it's not me. So we're gonna try to do the daily brew again. Uh, Short and sweet. Give everybody up to date on our severe weather coming. So I'll give everybody a minute to log in here. God, that was. But anyway, been posted all morning. So God. God. But the neighbor's down too, so it's our area. This sucks. Man. Hey, maybe we're back. I don't know. What's up, Robert Bowman? Says I got a good signal now, but it's not Friday the 13th, is it? It's Friday the 14th. Says I got a good signal now, but we'll see. Oh, hope this isn't like the sign of the weather today, like unpredictable, tricky. All right. I think I know what happened. I smashed too many live buttons at one time. But it looks good now. So anyway, should have volume there, Bonnie. So we did go down earlier. Weirdest thing ever. I started my live and went out. Luckily, my neighbor Jack confirmed that his internet went out this morning too, and that's when Julie told me. So it's not me. It's Spectrum. And now we're running on Starlink, which is in my driveway, the mobile mini. So I'm picking it up on a very kind of weak signal. But we're good. Hey, so listen, we're going to be talking about the weather here. Thanks for tuning in. This is Mike's third page. We do the daily brew when there's tropics every single day of the week usually. But right now we're going to talk strictly about this Storm Prediction Center latest graphics, what we got brewing. This is what it looks like. This is the water vapor. It's going to be whipping up a lot of weather today and tomorrow. Okay, so two basic systems. Once this low gets on out of here, it's going to open up the door for another system that's going to be farther down into the deep south tomorrow into Saturday night. So it's kind of crazy, man. We got these BOGO back-to-back low pressure areas fueling off of that warm Gulf waters tomorrow, up in those dew points for that. So two areas watching this thing, and this is current loop. You can see the spin here coming across the plains, and we got a couple of issues on the backside of this thing with fire and wind currently too. So multi impacts and significant weather. Decent now, and if not, I'll do a video here in a little bit. It's just, unfortunately, in my area, we're dealing with internet issues. But good morning, everybody over there on Facebook. Looks good. So here's what it looks like at Tropical Tidbits. We got a 970 pressure low system, unbelievably low. Anything under 980 is just incredible. These are low-level 850 millibar winds. These sometimes reach the surface, creating all kinds of shear instability. This is what we got today. Tremendous amount of instability in the red and the purple as this low pressure 978, 975 system gets on out of here tonight. So we got a big area of storms today. And what happens when this low lifts, man, we're pulling up a lot of warm moisture into the air, and we got another little pop low pressure getting started up here, and this is tomorrow. We got a whole separate little system now pulling up from the lower Gulf northeastward, and this is definitely very confident now that we're going to see storms tomorrow night into the evening hours into Sunday. Tremendous amount of instability in the air, okay? So very serious situation for 2 days. Definitely looking highly confident, and this is going to stretch a large area even into Sunday. We could see some big winds. Won't necessarily have the fuel for severe weather, but we're going to still see winds and isolated storms on the eastern seaboard down into Florida on Sunday. So I'm going to get into all that for you. Now, when we talk about pressures, I keep looking over here to make sure I have internet. We do. When I talk about pressures, when you get below 970, we're in category 2 range. Okay, this is what if we were talking hurricane season. Anything under 980 range typically is cat 2. So that's a lot of pressure gradients. When you get a lot of pressure gradients, you get a lot of wind and a lot of air pulling up into that around that low pressure system. So crazy, right? So this is currently happening today. This is a fire map, big time. So when our low is running out of moisture here, all of our moisture is going to be here. We're going to have a dry pocket of winds coming around the backside. Extreme fire danger today. Okay, that's on top of everything else. There's going to be extremely low humidity from that dry air wrapping around that initial low. So big story here could be fires, even though we're dealing with tornadoes and hurricane type winds on the other side. So this is a real situation for Texas all the way through Oklahoma there northeastward. So that's another storyline. Winds currently crazy. Lubbock, Texas, 81 miles an hour. Wind gusts reported. 75, 67. This is Texas here if you're having a hard time figuring it out. But crazy winds here developing on the backside of this thing, whipping around that low pressure area. These are the winds that are fueling the fire dangers that we're seeing posted. So crazy winds. This is a National Weather Service data viewer, and these are just unbelievable winds that are coming in from that Gulf of Mexico. So huge winds happening now on the backside of this low. Now here's a initial map they put out this morning showing you the main focus for today and tonight, Friday night. Large area, including St. Louis, Missouri. Particularly dangerous situation with tornadoes. This is a PWO, they call it, that comes out that basically is pretty serious, okay? So that's today. I'm going to, show you the overall picture here. I put this out earlier today. This is an overall look at Friday. Your tornado hatch area, EF2 or greater. Winds, because it's going to be wrapping around that low. We're going to have hurricane force winds in these hatched areas here with a very large area that could see that. This is power outages, okay? Anytime you get 75 mile an hour or greater winds, we're going to see tons of power outages today. Remember, the fire danger on the backside is from the dry air wrapping around from that low pressure area with the same amount of winds but no moisture and low humidity. So fire on the backside, heavy storms and rains and winds on the front side here. And then we're going to see hail because we're dealing with cold Arctic air from the reason we have so much instability. We got warm air coming up from that Gulf, 70 dew points, 60 dew points, 60 degree dew points. We got cold air top. We're going to see hail, 2-inch baseball size hail in this shaded hatched area today. So this is all the way through tonight. Now this thing tomorrow, this is that new area. So when our low pressure pulls out of here, we got it pumping down energy up on the south side, deep south. This is tomorrow. Okay, they're worried even about a greater chance for long track tornadoes tomorrow. This hatched area includes Louisiana all the way up to Tennessee, into Florida Panhandle, into Georgia and Alabama, Mississippi. So large hatched area tomorrow night. Very real chances of some severe weather. The winds are the same. So if you don't get the tornadoes, you're going to get possibly hurricane force winds coming through with these squall lines. Isolated storms out ahead of these cells is the issue. Just enough instability that you get these little supercells developing. And some of the latest HRR supercell maps, you're seeing very scary maps possibly of these little isolated supercells out ahead of this thing. So that's kind of what they're worried about tomorrow and tomorrow night, are these isolated supercells out ahead of this secondary push that's coming around. And then again, hail also through Louisiana northeastward in the bottom right here. So that's happening through tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Could be nocturnal tornadoes tomorrow night. And then we go into Sunday. I'm going to show you here, but here's the rain. Actually, first off, we had a lot of people ask me about rainfall. We're not looking at anything too significant. We could see some mountainous areas in northern Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee, Kentucky here, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. Most everybody else in the yellow is about an inch. Okay, so not a huge rain event to stress about. This will be fast moving. Still could see 2 to 3, 4 inches. So yes, isolated flooding. They do have a flooding map out here. Slight risk for flooding across a large area tomorrow. This is for Saturday. Blow up out of that warmer Gulf, aiding to the rain. So you could see that. Now Sunday, I put this together this morning. Sunday SPC Storm Prediction Center map showing that yellow slight, so that not as much fuel in the atmosphere to create the storms we're going to see today and tomorrow. The forecast isn't as severe. However, very curious now. This is still 3 days out, so they could adjust this. The latest NAM radar and the latest Euro, these are on tropicaltidbits.com. They are showing you the same exact placement of a squall line coming in on Sunday afternoon, okay? And we got a secondary little line backed up here around the Carolinas, and you can see this Storm Prediction Center showing you that up in the Virginia northward. So we are going to see a squall line Sunday morning continuing. Big question mark for me is going to be this Gulf. How much fuel is this going to aid for potentially severe storms Sunday? Now, because it says Sunday 2 p.m., you can kind of put it into your head. We're going to look at the latest 12Z, which shows you timing, but back it up a little bit, and we're going to see these storms approaching, let's say, Mobile and the tip of Florida overnight around midnight into Sunday. But this is something to think about on Sunday. The line is going to push through the East Coast through Sunday evening, and it is going to make its way down through the Florida Peninsula into Monday. It's going to be weakening as it does, but it is going to bring some rain showers through the day Sunday into even Monday as it kind of slows down and lingers in that Florida Peninsula down south. Now, here's what I put out also for my Florida friends this morning. Just looking at things like Cape. Anytime you get Cape values higher in this yellow range, for example, and then STP is your significant tornado parameter. These are all around midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? And this is where the line could be around 1 a.m. So this is what I'm looking at for folks, because there's a lot of focus right now on the main event, which is more Mississippi, Alabama, possibly, little Louisiana up into Tennessee. That's like the focus right now, but still not forgetting everybody here. Even Atlanta area, this line on Saturday night could be a little sneaky for the upper Gulf Coast, including my friends in Florida. So I'm watching that extra close. I might even go storm chase a little bit. Emily's got a softball game in Lakeland. I might cut out tomorrow as soon as she's done and head that direction. So we'll see about that. Yeah, I think this is fascinating. Not a lot of discussion about it. This is on Tropical Tidbits a little bit, but part of the theory on the snow that we had is we have warmer water anomalies in the middle part of the Gulf. We got a pretty active loop current that's bringing up some warm Caribbean waters, and this water is 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees above normal for this time of year. So when you look at significant, March is always normal to see significant weather outbreaks. You get a few a year, a couple a year, sometimes maybe you only get one a year. But when you start looking at averages over a 10, 20, 30-year period, and you look at the Gulf temps are a little bit above normal, that's adding a little bit extra fuel, obviously, that's going to get pumped, this direction the next Saturday night into Sunday that we're watching. So I think the Gulf's having a little bit of extra fuel to the pop on the southern deep south system for sure. Now let's hope the 12Z's out, because we had that big delay, and I'm still streaming apparently on my little mini Starlink out in the front driveway. This is what it looks like. Let's look at timing. This is what everybody's curious about. So we're going to start to see this low tighten up. We're going to start to see some isolated storms around 2 p.m. Some of these could start popping off some severe thunderstorms. Remember, when you don't see a lot of rain bands, there's a lot of heat and instability out ahead. So this is usually a little more worrisome than when you see a solid line of frontal alignment. So we're going to start to see storms popping about 2 o'clock there. We get into the evening hours. This is where things really get going. 4 o'clock. We're already starting to see this is all pulling around that low pressure system. Louisiana there getting some storms popping. This is 5 o'clock tonight. But again, it's looking more like an evening issue here as we get a very pronounced line starting to develop around this low pressure. I mean, in all honesty, it is a land cane. It's 970 pressure, low pressure system. Okay, if this was over water, it'd guaranteed be a Cat 2 hurricane. Okay, that's why they're worried about all this stuff. Okay, there's our secondary line. All this is pulling up around that system. This is where we're going to start to see a little bit of more moisture forming later in Saturday, because we're going to start seeing more of a flow out of that Gulf. But this is pretty intense line, man. We're going to see wind, storms, hail. Tonight, this is about 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time tonight as we get going. There's your low. I'm telling you, it's like a little hurricane. Crazy, right? This is around the midnight time frame, about right here. So 11 p.m. tonight. This is overnight Friday night into Saturday. And there you go. I mean, that is a massive low pressure going to push storms and winds up to the Great Lakes area before daybreak tomorrow. There's our first line of storms. A lot of people are calling this like, event number one, event number two. Well, there's event number one. This right here is backside of this first system, and we can see some storms in this first second. Good too. Good too. As I get 15, Starlink is not working out too good. Oh well. Now it says it's back, but I probably lost everybody. Let's see if it connects. I'll be uploading a video anyway, so we got more. All right, so we made it through Friday night. Okay, we're trying to get through Friday night. It says I'm still streaming. I'm gonna catch myself up here on Facebook. No, it says I'm back. I didn't lose my Facebook. Hey, it's good news. Facebook, Shelly. Usually Facebook would lose connection, but we didn't lose connection. So, all right. So, hey, everybody, that was like a commercial break. All right, so we made it through Friday night. Okay. Luckily, my streaming software shows I'm at 22K right now, so we're back. All right, so you didn't miss anything. So we were showing you this land cane developing. Look at that. That is crazy. I'm gonna post this with a timeline. Everybody wants to know a timeline. Unbelievable imagery here that we could be seeing tonight. This is about 7, 8 o'clock tonight, going into the midnight hour. Cool. Yep, we glitched, but we're still hanging. All right, so this is unbelievable low pressure system spinning storms. This is around midnight tonight. There's some random storms tonight. That is event number one. This is what, all these storm prediction center maps I showed for Friday night. Now, we're still going to have some energy going in the morning hours, but we're going to focus down here now as we start to get this deep, warm flow that's got pulled up. And if we looked at some dew points, you'll see that this system actually helped pull up warm Gulf instability and moisture that's going to fuel the next system. So tomorrow, that's the problem right there. These are these isolated supercells starting to develop as early as 8, 9, 10 in the morning Saturday. Look at these little suckers popping, man. That is Mississippi's been showing up. I think Mississippi's had the most consistent indicator for the largest STRO. And then here's more flow coming up tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock. And this line is just going to keep pumping. This is the main event. This is tomorrow. This is going to be a lot of little individual supercells, unfortunately, popping throughout the day tomorrow, afternoon and evening hours. Going to my Florida friends, it's like I said, about 1 in the morning, we're going to see a possible line. Let's say Panama City, 3 in the morning. Tallahassee area, maybe 7 in the morning on Sunday. And this is that line that they're watching on Sunday. So the HRR only goes out 48 hours, but this is Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. All right. Not too fond of the NAM. The NAM goes out 60 hours, but it's always off on the timing a little bit. So there's that. I don't want to lose internet any much longer than that, but we, very high confidence. We got a deep low pressure system. I'm gonna put that map out now with the timing. Everybody likes to know the timing of the storms. And again, one thing about these systems right now, I'm going to show you the latest. Let's look at the latest HRR, just for example. I just downloaded Pivotal Weather, by the way. I've always been curious about it, and I kind of like it, what I see on it. Here's Supercell Composite for Saturday. Let's see, what time is that? Let's go to about... That's the first system. Let's go back here. There's 12Z. Let's go. All right, here we go, fan. Remember FCP, Richard Petty? Now we lost internet again. No, we didn't. We're hanging on, barely. So STP is your significant tornado parameters. And what Saturday, the reason Saturday looks so significant is we have warm flow out of the Gulf, high dew points. Yes, we got a very low 850 millibar jet stream. But we also are starting to see these STP parameters and individual supercells popping. Again, this is lower Louisiana. This is Saturday all the way up to Mississippi initially. Then it gets showing you the possible long track individualized tornadoes. So this is high confidence. All these little things everybody looks at. And again, they're the isolated little cells that you see that are usually detached from a main squall line with a lot of shear up ahead. So that's a given. I mean, all these maps are on my site here. If you look at Mike's weather page, all these Storm Prediction Center maps are what you're going to want to take a look at. You click on like tomorrow. There you go. It's popping up. Looks like it's not. I'm still good. There we go. There's that. And if you want to go tornado, there's your hatch, huge hatched area. Little trick on my site too, if you want to see more individualized areas, go to SPC Detailed right there. Click on that, and you will get the opportunity to click on state level. And if you want to look at, Mississippi, you click on Mississippi, and then you get very detailed graphics for your area with cities included, which is a lot easier than sometimes those wider spread. So again, you go to Mike's weather page, go to SPC Detailed. When that comes up, click States, and right there you just click on the state that you want. Here's Florida, for example, and we can go down to severe wind event on Saturday, and we got hatched area almost going to Tallahassee. So that's hopefully useful for you. Internet hiccups as we're just dealing with it where I live. Luckily, it's not me, so I don't feel so bad right now. Dated posts, so you're never going to miss anything going to there. All right, so I'm going to do a timed radar map here in a second, and that's very useful for folks, showing you the timing. Heather, it was pretty long. And anyway, so we'll look for that. I'll do a little reel video here before 12 o'clock. And there you go. Hey, I helped one person out. Opti 1651. Yep. I took me forever to learn where that's at. Hey, you know what else I added too, by the way, that is big in for storms? So again, the SPC Detailed right here, but I added the CSU button. And we're gone on Facebook apparently. Oh well. Every text, Shelly, today. You're gone. You're back. You're gone. You're back. You're gone. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're gone. You're gone. You're back. You're gone. Well, that's just the way it goes. But anyway, I added this new link here for CSU, and that is a lot of good information. I don't feel guilty. It just technology stinks sometimes. All right. So have a great day. Stay weather alert, man. This is a big deal as far as weather goes, significant wise, and we'll see how it plays out. Sometimes these are busts, so let's hope for a bust on some